Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me, Queen Kia. Today we will be speaking on my countdown of all the champions. As you know, we have Clash of Champions coming up, and I know how much y'all like a good countdown, so we're going to be doing from 10 to 1 of all the champions that have titles right now, from my least favorite to my most favorite. So let's go ahead and give the cameraman, as well as my husband, a round of applause for doing all the work behind the scenes that you don't see and you don't know. Woo. And let's go ahead and get into it. I can tell you this will be a two-parter, with this being the first part. So please make sure you look so when you get into the second part, you know where I am. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to roll into it. Starting with number 10, I like the person. I like this champ. I wouldn't really root for him unless there was someone across from him that I really despised. This is more of a champ that my husband pulls for only because he's a hometown boy. In case you don't know, this person is holding the U.S. title. He's part of the Hurt Business, and it's Bobby Lashley. So, that is my number 10.
To make sure that we have context on the countdown here, these are main roster champions that we are discussing. The Queen is counting down her top 10 to 1 in terms of the current main roster champions heading into this weekend's Clash of Champions pay-per-view. She is correct. I am originally from Denver, so not a lot of folks come in from the Colorado area, and Bobby representing Denver very well as our United States champion and the muscle of the Hurt Business. I think he's doing just fine, but it's kind of interesting because he's playing that face and heel role with their story, also with Retribution as well. Number 9.
Number 9. I've never been a big fave to this person, but I do like the fact that this person has gone from a face role to a heel role to even bigger heel role, and she's doing a very good job. Now, despite her betraying her best friend, which is kind of the giveaway, she went from hugger to a role model, and somehow she was part of the golden standard. Yeah, that's right. As you kind of have figured out when I said betraying her best friend, it's Bayley. There is no mystery that I don't like her, but I like the role that she is playing because she went from face to heel. So yeah, and that's probably why I'm fumbling all over the place, because I don't really like her.
I can hear the boos and the hiss from our crowd already that Bayley is so low on this list, but one of the joys of your top 10 is it's your opinion. We don't expect anyone to 100% agree with this.
I know Savannah won't agree with this.
Most definitely not. She's going to have to push her up a little bit for her to get more interested. Bayley right now, the longest reigning Smackdown Women's Champion that we've seen, and she's held the title for all of 6 days for about the last 2 years. But her storyline continues to write itself, but there also have been a lot of people who are not a fan of what she's become. So I can understand from a certain perspective why it would be so low.
But let me go ahead and put it for you like this. I like the fact that she will do whatever she has to do to keep her Women's SmackDown title. So don't get me wrong. I like the fact that she's maintaining this role that she is playing, and she's doing it very well. Let's put it like this. I would prefer to have a boo instead of no sound at all. So she's getting the reaction she wants. It's boos. Some people, a few, might cheer Savannah, but not me. Now we're going to roll into my number 8 faves, with it being our SmackDown tag team, Shinsuke Nakamura, excuse me, my brain's all over the place, along with Cesaro. Well, that's what we call him in the house because we think it's, kind of funny. But I love this tag team. Again, anybody that knows me knows I love tag teams. I love women empowerment. So, I feel like these two are underrated in my opinion. I feel like they give so much to what they do to this craft that I would prefer to see them actually, instead of being a tag team, I'd like to see them go for individual gold, But I have never met either one. My husband has. You got to see Shinsuke. We were at a show, and weren't you going to the bathroom or just walking to the concession stand?
It was his NXT debut
when
he took on Sami Zayn.
So, and my husband was just kind of walking along, and he just sees this guy dancing, and he remembered that it was Shinsuke Nakamura, so I think that's kind of cool. And you've also seen Cesaro, but it was from a distance. So, these two, in my opinion, would be my number 8.
it's interesting to use the term underrated for these two because there is, even if there is only one thing that we agree on in this one particular episode amongst us and our following fans that are watching this, there is no reason that these two individually should not have been a world champion by now.
I agree.
Shinsuke Nakamura has received multiple opportunities to become the WWE champion. He had a great rivalry with AJ Styles a couple of years ago. Cesaro is, by most people, defined as the best person to have not held a world title at this point. Both should be world champion before they're done.
I agree.
And yet, the longer you wait, the more you worry that it's not going to happen. And then you find them both in a storyline to where, you know, it's like, we've got to do something with the two of them, so let's put them together as a team. Now, Cesaro has proven over the years that he can tag with anyone.
Yeah, he's tagged with Tyson Kidd. He's tagged with, who else am I thinking of? Sheamus.
Multiple-time tag team champions there.
Yeah, so those are just the two that come to mind. But I feel like, honestly, these two, hopefully before the time is over, will get what they truly deserve. And plus, Shinsuke Nakamura's got an awesome theme. Keeps changing it, and I don't know how he's going to get any better with it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to roll into my number 7, which it's, again, female empowerment. It would be Asuka. How can you not love Asuka on the mic? She is just like on the mic. You don't understand her, but you know enough of what she's trying to say for it to be humorous. She comes out of nowhere. She interrupts promos, and she thinks it's okay because, you know, she's the women's, you know, champ on Raw. So for me, I would love to meet her. I've never met her. Also, I know I'm talking about doing a cosplay on her, but that will be off in the future, we're down the line. I'm just saying she's got good ring awareness. She, obviously, to me, in my opinion, is very deserving, and if I ever got a chance to meet her, I don't really think I would know how to respond or how to react. I think it's a girl fanning out, I'd freak out. I know that much. So, for me, it's Asuka. I love her, and I hate the fact that her partner, Kairi, is gone. I love Kairi, too, so hopefully better things for her.
Happy birthday, by the way, to Kairi for at the filming of this episode. Today is actually Kairi Sane's birthday. WWE, I'm sure, has not forgotten that. The Twitterverse certainly hasn't.
Nope.
Asuka, getting her praise, is probably the top non-horsewoman that is currently on the roster. A lot of people giving her a bunch of mess for the fact that her match this upcoming Sunday is going to be on the pre-card as she defends against Zelina Vega. But, she has been the only person, and it was even stated before she left the company that she is the one person that was able to keep Becky Lynch at bay and been able to go toe-to-toe with her on a consistent basis, and a lot of times had Becky's number most of their matchups. So Asuka winning the title, being a bit manipulated out of, her friendship with Kairi, cost her the title for a small amount of time against Sasha Banks, eventually winning it back. And now she begins her romp through the Monday Night Women's roster yet again. She's been dominant from the moment she got into NXT, and really even during her run on Raw. She's been probably as close to undefeatable as anyone's been, maybe outside of Charlotte Flair.
That is true. So, rolling into my number 6 pick, I love this guy. I don't know who does not love this guy. He brings humor. He's humble. I got to see his story and how he got from where he was to WWE. So if you have not seen the R-Truth story, go see it. It's on the network for $9.99. Yes, that was a cheap plug. That 24/7 champion, that title 24/7, Highway 85, whatever he decides to want to call it, that's his baby. And I've seen him lose it, and I've seen him win it back. Is it 39 times at the present moment? Yeah. He just makes it funny. He just makes that. When that first came out, I wasn't really all for it. I thought it was a cool title, but I said, how are they going to play this off? And he's just been brilliant with losing it and getting it back. And I think, for him, that title means everything. And so, number 6 for me is R-Truth.
R-Truth has been the one person that really, I think you can unanimously say is, no matter what he does, he is going to make it entertaining.
Yes, he is.
And he's going to do so without ever likely winning the WWE Championship, without likely ever winning the Universal Championship. And yet I'm still going to go on record to believe that he's a first ballot Hall of Famer because of what he has done for the company in his time here. The 24/7 title basically is R-Truth at this point. You know, he has done it, you know, when it first got here, and you hear about title changes when, you know, you're sitting at work at 3 in the afternoon and there's a title change on an airplane. And then, you know, him just continually hunting down these champions to get it back. And, I mean, to do anything in life 39 times is, you know, impressive. But to win a championship 39 different times is impressive. Albeit, though, you know, if you're the glass half empty person, that also means he's lost the same title 38 times. So,
I think
with a grain of salt.
I think the one that was my favorite of him winning it back was the one where I believe he popped out of the trunk to be able to win his title back. That one, for me, was my favorite. That's the one that sticks out in my mind.
Was that when he got Gronk, or was that somebody else?
I don't remember. I just know all I remembered is him. He popped out the trunk.
He has had so many fun disguises, though.
He has, and just like you, how can you not love this storyline? How can you not love Truth for all that he brings to it? And you obviously can tell that he has a little bit of creative control when he actually is playing it out. So that is my 10 through 6 so far, of the least favorite going through to my favorites. And again, like I said, there will be a part 2, so stay tuned. As y'all clearly have seen, I had a suggestion, which is from my husband, because I have been doing so many suggestive different themes, such as double episode and themes and countdowns and superstar highlights. And I know there's probably going to be a couple more things that we have up our sleeve for this show, but I have changed it to quality time with the Queen, and that suggestion comes from my loving husband, because he, like you said, we took the time to thought about it, and it just didn't feel like it was, you know, just questions anymore. So I want to thank Steve for that suggestion.
Well, really, I think our fan base has really kind of helped with that as well. Our followers, that, you know, we appreciate everything you guys bring.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's exactly what it is. It hasn't really become just about, hey, let's ask the Queen some questions. You know, now it's really about taking the time on a weekly basis to take 10, 15 minutes to come over and let's pick a topic and let's talk about it, you know, and I'll give you my thoughts on it and answer the questions that you want to have, or answer the topics or the countdowns like you're doing today, and, you know, go from there. And so I really think quality time, you know, fits the role of exactly what you're trying to do. Plus, we don't have to change the hashtag.
Well, I mean, when it was first talked about and I first heard, I was like, I'm not so sure. And then the more I got to listen to it and the more that I thought about it, I absolutely love it. So now, instead of it being questions with the Queen, it is quality time with the Queen. But with that being said, and with that being done, I will be leaving as of right now. Oh, don't forget, do not forget, it is like the last week to donate to Connor's Cure for, it's a good cause to donate to. Me and Steve donate all the time. We got deeply into it, and just because of what it was for and how it was being presented by Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. And
happy birthday to her too.
If you go back and look up Connor Mahalik, that will give you everything you need to know. So please take the time, even if it's just a little bit, just go ahead and donate. As you can see, I've got on my bracelet and I've got on my pin, and just donate, even if it's just like $2-3. But with that being said, I'm going to let you go until next time. Bye, everybody.